Oh, here we go again with the people who, in so many instances, through no fault of their own, and I mean that, find themselves on assistance, the social safety net that the Republicans love to just talk as though it's the curse of Satan, turns people into welfare recipients. What a bunch of assholes. I mean, for real. But a couple of weeks ago, it was Scott Walker who gathered up a bunch of other governors, right-wing fucks from top to bottom, 10 of them, and started screeching about the benefits of drug testing food stamp recipients. Here we go again. Drug testing. Why not drug test people who want to run for political office? Don't they have much more power and therefore much more ability to fuck everything up than somebody who gets food stamps? So why not drug test and psychologically test people like Scott Walker or Donald Trump or, God forbid, Hillary Clinton? But I digress. Federal law at the present time doesn't allow drug tests for people who are on the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, recipients. But in February of this year, a Republican from Alabama, there's a surprise, introduced legislation that would pave the way so that people who are desperate, people who were just devastated by the manipulations of the rat bastards in 2008, lost their homes, lost their jobs, lost everything, and now they need food, they need shelter, they need a start, and they have to submit to a drug test? Yeah. And what do you want to bet this guy from Alabama, his name is Robert Aderholt, what do you want to bet he's a born-again Christian? Of course he is. Anyway, Scott Walker said that, quote, the legislation authored by Congressman Robert Aderholt confirms states' rights to drug test SNAP recipients. And we look forward to working with him on this crucial issue and implementing this common sense reform in Wisconsin. Oh, fuck you. Really, Scott Walker, why don't you take a long walk on a short pier, as we used to say? Why don't you just go kill yourself? I mean, for real. What an asshole this guy is, Scott Walker, and the way he talks. We look forward to working with him on this crucial issue. Whether or not somebody who's struggling to keep their head above water in this capitalist society with food stamps, for Christ's sake, should be drug tested. What about Social Security recipients there, Scotty boy? You know, people who are on disability, Social SSI. What about them? It's my understanding that a lot of Republicans who got fucked over because of the manipulation of the economy and our internal policies and lost their jobs, lost their homes, a lot of Republicans just couldn't bring themselves to ask for unemployment comp, or the unemployment comp ran out. So now all of a sudden they have disabilities. What's your disability? Oh, my back. Oh, your back? Whew. Where was I? The governor's a letter. Let me just check here and see where these assholes are from, what states they're from. Oh, yeah, here we go. Republican governors from Arizona, Idaho, Kansas, figures, Kentucky, Maine, Nebraska, Maine, that's that half what we talked about last night, Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah signed the letter. I'm surprised Florida Governor Rick Scott wasn't on there. Anyway, there are 45 million Americans who receive benefits from SNAP, which by any definition is one of this country's most important anti-poverty programs. And people who are on SNAP use the food not just to feed themselves, but to feed their children. Now, I've told you my little sob story about when I was a kid, how food sometimes just wasn't available for us. So what these bastards want to do for the 45 million Americans is drug test them. Are you fucking kidding me? Drug test 45 million. What about the kids? You want to drug test a 12-year-old? A lot of 12-year-olds are using drugs now, especially in states like Maine, Kentucky, Oklahoma, South Carolina. You know, you going to drug test kids? And Aderholt, this asshole who has introduced the letter to other freaks in the Republican Party in Congress, he said, quote, if a welfare recipient has the money to buy drugs, then they have the money to buy food. What the fuck? Monthly benefits average $126.83 per person in 2015. $126 a month. That will get you maybe 1.5 grams of coke in a month. So if you're a coke user, no, you're not. $126 might get you, $126, maybe a fifth of an ounce of good smoke. So stinking ass little amounts like this, $126 a month per person. And these guys want to start drug testing people. Now, this is not the first time they've tried this. These bastards in the Republican Party tried to do this a couple of years ago in the U.S. House, and it went nowhere. But, you know, when you think about this, when you think about how venal and mean-spirited and nasty and vicious these fuckers are, and every one of them will tell you he's a born-again Christian. When you think about that, it just really upsets me. How about you?